both players are good. I think it just depends on whoever's going to set up that lineup. I mean, you have two really good players that you have to choose from. Oh no, oh no, So
we need a tiebreaker here, then, boys. It's me and Xiaoyan. So now it comes down to Ednan and John. You guys pick Christian Ramirez in that front three or Diego Rossi in that front three.
Nah, you know what? To be controversial here, neither of them. Vela's coming back, dropping a hat trick.
Oh my God, bro. We're not doing this. On the week of the MLS Cup Final, as you can see on your screen today, I am joined by John Rivera, Ernan of We Are Austin TV, and Xiaoyan of Rave Green TV. It has been a crazy last few days. Conference finals come and gone. I almost don't want to talk about this today because, frankly, if you watched the last video, which a fair amount of you did, I kind of got pooped on prediction-wise. I probably the worst round I've had in these MLS Cup playoffs. My bracket's absolutely shattered. But with that said, the show collectively actually did pretty well. I think Xiaoyan, the prediction god himself, had a day. Before jumping into these conference finals, bro, I kind of want to turn it over to you really quickly. We'll talk about each respective matchup, and I want to get your takes, like actual football knowledge takes. But before we get there, bro, the floor is yours. MLS Cup Final, your bracket for the playoffs is actually very close to being perfect. Bro, what makes Xiaoyan prediction god, man? The floor is yours. You could go ahead and talk your shit, gloat all you want. By all means, bro, take it away.
I'm just happy to be here, and I think the secret to my secret sauce is I make sure I make my wings extra saucy when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings. So I think that's
you go to Buffalo Wild Wings. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy,
dude. On Thursday, the deal on Tuesdays and Thursdays is mad. You cannot pass up on that.
God, Wingstop over B-dubs all day. Wingstop over B-dubs all day.
We don't have that many Wingstops. That's the thing. And it's also expensive in my eyes. I don't have much money, so.
Prediction god is a B-dubs guy. Well, look, guys, the conference finals were, man, crazy. The Hellas Real Derby delivered in a way that only that derby can deliver. And in the Western Conference, it just it went in a direction that I think some expected, but many didn't. Let's start with the East. That is the game that took place first. I want to get some quick reactions from the guys around what happened, why this game panned out the way it did. Ultimately, Columbus came back down 0-2. Very quick start by Cincinnati, only for Columbus to come back and win 3-2 after extra time. Very close to penalty kicks happening. I'll be honest, guys. Me and Xiaoyan were texting during this game, bro. At 2-0, this man was shaking. Bro. He was convinced that his team had already lost. He said, "I finally." What was the text, Xiaoyan? I finally got one wrong. Or something along those
I said
lines?
It looks like I might get one.
Oh yeah, it's like I might get one wrong, and I was like, hold on, at that moment, Columbus had scored their first goal, literally a minute or two later, and from there, the comeback was on.
I think once the one goal went in, I knew it was gonna happen
after the first.
Yeah,
confident man over there.
Yeah, he is, bro. He's confident. Prediction god has been the ego is massively inflated heading into 2024. But with that said, bro. Look, me and Ednan were the ones who had Cincinnati going through. I do have my own take on how the game went and why I think this was more impressive for Columbus than it was bottling by Cincinnati. But Ednan, bro, let's go to you first, man. I mean, you're watching the game. Xiaoyan was wrong about one thing. Vasquez and Lucho both scored. They both scored when Xiaoyan said they wouldn't do anything.
That is correct. That is correct. And
they heard it. No, dude, it's a compliment, Jose, because they watched the video. They took it personally.
They took it personally. That's what it was.
Xiaoyan can say he's prediction god or whatever, but he's not player prediction god because we clearly said Lucci and Brandon Vasquez were going to show up, and they did. They got on the score sheet. There is some criticism being thrown at Lucci at the end of the game, why he didn't want to be subbed off. Whatever, right? But those guys, they got on the score sheet. But at the end of the day, Columbus was a more complete team. And like Xiaoyan said, they were able to clap back, right? But I will say this. Hey, I said that Brandon Vasquez and Lucci were going to be those guys that were going to show up for their team. They did. But like I said earlier, Xiaoyan gets the last laugh again.
Yeah, man, it's tough, bro. I hate that. It's like in the moment when he's in pain, bro, I'm locked in. And then the whole result for the second or third time in this postseason just completely flips on its head. And I've been on the winning end of these, situations, and that's not the case this time. But I will say this in defense of Cincinnati, because I saw a lot of Cincinnati slander. You mentioned the whole Lucha Acosta not wanting to be, subbed off. I don't know if I would have even asked him. I think, yes, he's the captain. Yes, he's the MVP. And I kind of wanted this to be a slight talking point. I don't know. Like at some point as the manager, do you not just decide if you're Noonan that I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm going to sub him off? Like is I don't know. Put yourself in his shoes. Are you comfortable with how he approached it, or should he have just been a little more stern and subbed him because he saw his legs were gone?
Well, I mean, depends what the plan is. I mean, if you were betting on bunkering down and going for PKs, then Lucha Acosta has to be there. You know what I'm saying? But if you wanted to go for the game, then you should have made that decision. Lucci's legs are gone, and I need somebody else in there that's fresh, that's able to run up and down the field. Lucci gave us what he could. But like I said, it just depends on what the plan was. Were they going for those PKs? A lot of people talking to me were saying, hey, it looks like they were going for PKs. And at the end of the day, they just ran out of gas. So PKs could have been a different story. Lucha Acosta, if I'm the coach, I want him to shoot one of those 5 PKs 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that's the wrong approach. I think I tweeted this in the intermission part, the halfway point of extra time. I think I said almost exactly was I don't see how Cincinnati survive or get to PKs if the game continues to go like this. Like, I just don't see it. Like, Columbus and extra time was rampant. They were everywhere, didn't give up on any ball. Every 50-50 ball they won, I feel like, but as far as I saw. And they were knocking on the door constantly for minutes on end before finally, getting that goal right before PKs. I just felt like if they didn't make the change, they were going to lose anyway. I didn't see a scenario where they could keep Acosta and some of those guys on the pitch, even if they were going to be the clutch factor in the penalty kick shootout. So I don't know, maybe just a growing opportunity for Noonan. I think I will say this though, like for all those slandering Cincinnati, I think this was not Cincinnati bottling it. I've heard them called bottlers just about all weekend leading up to today on the timeline, and I really think there isn't any other team in Major League Soccer who could have done this. I don't think any. I think if they go to the final against LAFC, I can't see Boanga and LAFC turning a 2-0 deficit around. Same thing for Houston. I can't see Houston turning around 2-0 deficit against a team as good as Cincinnati. Columbus was able to because they're Columbus, because they're arguably the most complete team in Major League Soccer. So I'll give them that. I think it's more credit to Nancy and his men than it is a shot at Noonan and his boys. So
okay,
that's how I see it. Xiaoyan, I mean, from your side as you're watching the game, I don't know, anything stand out before we move over to the West?
I mean, I was just gonna add on. I don't think it's totally a bottle job by Cincy. It's something I've kind of preached about is Cincy just haven't made that step of making it to an MLS Cup final. This is going to be now Columbus's third one that they're going to be hosting. No, sorry, fourth one they're going to be hosting. Like they've been there, they've done that. And I think that experience matters. I've talked about it many times. They did one better than the previous year. They made it to a conference final, but just not having the experience of being able to close out games. What do you do in this situation? Those all play a part regardless if you're up 2-0 or not. And I think that was just the difference. And then Columbus knew. Even when Columbus were down 2-0, I even texted you this. I didn't even feel like they were playing that bad. Like, I felt like they were still playing really well, and I felt 2-0 was, like, somewhat undeserved. They obviously came back, won it. Doesn't really matter, but I think just kind of that inexperience just is what cost Cincinnati in this game.
I want to say this real quick, and maybe it's a bit of a transition over to the West, but we're talking about Columbus being able to come back and turn over a 2-0 deficit, win the game in the fashion that they did. The team that they have to play, they rarely give up points from a winning position. So if you let LAFC go up on you 1 or 2 goals, I don't know how you're going to turn that around with the defense that they have. So yeah, you can have that character, that identity to do it against X team, but when you got to play a team like LAFC, I don't know if that card is going to be able to help you out.
I don't know. I think Columbus is a different team that compared to the teams that, like, because LAFC have like, what was it? It's like the ratio.
LAFC defense, brother.
The ratio is like
defense, brother.
LAFC have like, they have like, it's like what they're like an 85%. Like if they score first, they don't lose games, but like they still have done it. So it's like, if any team can do it, I still think it would be Columbus, in my opinion.
No, but this is a great transition over to the Western Conference final. And I think, a point that Hernan brings up is valid from the, respect the defensive back line. That back line, I saw a stat on Monday. That back line has not conceded a goal in the last 300 plus minutes. I think the most impressive match in that span was was winning at Lumen Field in Seattle against a team that has not lost a home playoff game in over a
Crazy,
decade.
right? Crazy,
Yeah.
right? That my good friend here doesn't want to acknowledge an insane LAFC stat, and one of the big highlights of it is against a team in Rave Green. It's funny.
It's just a really crazy. I mean, like I said, some people were like, "Dude, it's LAFC when they beat Seattle." I'm like, "Do you guys not understand the legacy of the Sounders? How hard it is to
Yep.
play against that fan base? Whether the team is firing on cylinders or not, it's just hard to go there and win. And then you have the turf field they get to deal with with Lumen and everything else. Like it's just a crazy atmosphere. And LAFC did it. They did it this season. And yes, it was behind a one-off chance Belonga got. But the bigger stat was that as Seattle was coming in, averaging 17 shots a game, granted, they didn't convert too many of them, but still high-octane offense, and LAFC didn't give up anything. So I think the Houston game in the Western Conference Final was equally reflective of that. And I think what it showed me, I was kind of pooping on LAFC coming into this game, if we're being honest. That's kind of why I said I took a massive L this weekend was I thought Houston was going to win. I thought Houston could create a ton of opportunities, and they kind of did. But they were more dominant in possession, just didn't seem to convert that possession into meaningful opportunities. 10 shots, 5 on target, that's okay. That's fine. It's decent. But against a team as good as LAFC, if you have 70% of the more of the ball, I expect more meaningful chances to be created. And Houston couldn't really do that. I don't know if it was Western Conference Final jitters or LAFC just being that good at this point of the postseason. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. But Xiaoyan, I mean, I'm just curious for how you, because Hernan had his whole point regarding LAFC and respecting them. Do you feel like what they were able to prove against Houston, who you have talked about pretty positively on the show, did they do enough to warrant like any kind of real consideration for what is going likely to be an upset against Columbus Crew?
No, I don't think so.
No, you still back the Crew 100%?
Yeah, I'm not really. I mean,
if they go down 1-0, 2-0, if they go down 2-0 to rampant Teddy Bawanga,
they won't.
I don't know, man. They conceded 4 at Atlanta. They conceded 2 at Cincinnati. Now they're at home, right? So it's a completely different atmosphere. But I think if they're running 3 in the back, you don't think LAFC can counter on them the way they did against Houston?
The thing is, when you think about Columbus and their previous MLS Cup finals, the only game that they went down early on was the one against Portland. And they still even came back a little bit in that game. Kai Kamara got a goal back, and they were pretty close to coming back. Granted, as well, Portland were very close to getting a third. I don't think this LAFC team is that electric like that Portland team or even the Seattle team in 2020. I just think it's way too reliant on Bawanga, because even the game against Houston, they played okay. Like, let's look at the Hollingshead goal and an own goal.
Yeah,
like there was no clear-cut chances created. It was just
fair,
I feel like the experience came into play. I think that's yeah.
And I think with LAFC, it was also like I kind of mentioned before, is like they showed me another way that they can win games. Like it wasn't relying upon Bawanga really at all. It was like we just need to find someone on the counter, whether it's Bawanga or not, because we're not going to see much of the ball. And that's the way they played. And then look, they scored on a set piece and an own goal. But nonetheless, right, if they get that set piece goal in the first half, which is what happened, can their defense see it out? And up to this point, they've been able to do that, limiting every team they played across the last 300 plus minutes to 0 goals.
But again, think about how weak the Western Conference is, though.
I was about to get to that point. Like, do you really feel like any of the attacking forces that, I guess you could say, for many teams in the West, have they really been tested? Has that defense really been tested? Because I feel like Columbus's team is a lot more top heavy, and I feel like that will help them out a lot more. And I don't think that you can really sit back and defend against Columbus like that, just because I feel like they are very well balanced.
Yeah, I would say the 3 most offensive powered teams in the playoffs. Well, there are 3 that are very high-powered offensive teams. 2 of them are in the West. Just kind of level that. Sporting Kansas City was the hottest team coming into the league, taking more points per match than anybody since May. And then I still think nobody's scoring at the rate Houston was scoring. We've sat here and talked, I don't know how many episodes about how rampant their offense is, how they can kill you with 5 or 6 different options going forward. And LAFC neutralized that. Like, I mean, Columbus is going to present a more holistic attack. They're going to include more of their midfielders. Their formation allows for that. 3 in the back, and everybody else seems to get involved in the attack. They'll see something different for sure. But if you're asking me, can they handle a high-powered offensive team? Yes. Like I feel like Murillo, Chiellini, Palacios, Hollingshed can handle a high-powered offensive team. My opinion. What were you going to say, Cheyenne?
No, I was just gonna agree. I mean, I just don't think that, like, when you compare the Western Conference to the Eastern Conference, I think it's just like a whole different playing field, in my opinion. And even
collectively,
still,
yes, but I don't think in playoffs. I think with the teams who made playoffs, I think based on numbers, I think you have more fast-paced offensive teams on the West side. You have stronger defensive teams on the East side.
I was gonna say, I know we're giving up props to the games against Houston and Seattle.
Like, bro, what? Anyway, sorry. Can you repeat that for me?
Yeah, so I know we were talking about their previous matches against Houston and Seattle. In my opinion, I'm not super surprised. And again, I'll give LAFC credit for the defense there. They did a good job, but like, how many of those chances that Seattle had were that clear cut? There was one, and it was Morris. And you can't. And many Sounders fans have agreed with me on that. It's like I've learned to expect that. But in a game against the Whitecaps, and even the one in Vancouver, defensively they didn't look that good, in my opinion. So it's like they've been good. Like, don't get me wrong, they've been good defensively, but I'm not really worried about, like, oh, if Columbus goes down by a goal first, I still think they'll come back. Like, I'm super confident in this Columbus team because they have tactics. They have a plan A, they have a plan B, they have a plan C, which we already saw in the last game. But LAFC, I just don't know if they have like a plan B.
I think plan A is Bawanga. I think plan B is simply to be as defensively astute as you possibly
can. I feel like that those go together though. Like, it's
probably. Like I said, I've seen LAFC matches again where they're either 50-50 on possession or they have a good amount of possession and Bawanga's just getting opportunity after opportunity. To me, they didn't have any of that against Houston. It really had to be on the break, fast-paced, pragmatic, on the counter, because they had none of the ball. It was 70-30, I think, in terms of the split.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, Houston had all the ball and just didn't have enough meaningful chances. And so, I don't know, man. We'll predict our we'll make our predictions for the final after the combined 11. But based on how the 2 conference finals really went, I think the MLS Cup Final is going to be an absolute banger. And it could end up being who's able to either score last or, frankly, which defensive line is able to just keep them out longer.
Question: why hasn't anybody talked about the Rossi factor? It's a homecoming for him in a way.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That's true.
It is. And we're definitely gonna talk about it. But I'll say this, boys. You'll see in my best 11. I think Rossi needs this game because he's been good. I expected more from a player coming from Fenerbahce into Major League Soccer.
And someone who's done it in MLS before.
Done it in MLS, and now is coming back to, and still in the prime of his career to an extent to really kind of offer the Crew what Zella Ryan was able to MLS as their 10 before this.
Dude, imagine if Columbus still had Zella on too, man. MLS
Zella Ryan would have changed that to this team.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And the thing is too, if you guys saw the reports, they tried to keep both of them, but MLS told them no. But then they do the shit they do with Inter Miami, and I think that's so unfair.
Yeah. Bro, but also, like, I don't know, man. Saudi money talks. That's where he went, right? You went Saudi?
Yeah. No.
They only gave him 20. I think it was only 20, wasn't it?
No, I'm talking about for his wages.
I think he went to a Middle Eastern country. Actually, I don't think it was Saudi, was it?
Hey, where is
I thought it was. I could be wrong. But either way, though, I just imagine that money talks at some point when he thinks.
But
about,
I think
like,
he wanted to
going.
stay too. Like from what I saw, I could be wrong though. It seemed like he wanted to stay as well if Columbus could, but like obviously that was the biggest offer, and that's what Columbus were willing to accept. It was something along those lines.
Yeah, he went to Saudi. That's where he went.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Saudi. My bad.
Yeah. So like in those scenarios, man, like how can MLS really even compete, right?
Exactly.
So you know, it's one of those scenarios where I understand, but I still, coming from a Champions League level club, I was still expecting more of Diego Rossi, and I think that he needs a massive game against his former club in LAFC. We'll talk about it towards the end, though. But all right, boys, let's go. Combined 11. Let's get into it. All kind of, and it's funny because we're recording this episode on the day that MLS also announced their combined best 11 for the MLS Cup Final. And I don't want to be biased here, but ours is fucking better. It's better. So we're gonna go through each one position by position. We did land on the 4-3-3, same as the MLS, same as probably just about everybody else for this combined best 11. We'll start from the back. We'll work our way up. I'll announce it position by position. And then the boys will either agree or disagree based on who they picked, but they will make their picks known today. So, all right, boys, let's start from the back. And all honesty, man, I don't even know if there's a debate here. I don't even care if you like the kid from Columbus. Sorry, bro. Like, Crepeau is, I think, easily has to be the pick. We probably don't spend more than 30 seconds on this one.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's
Good
no
to go.
doubt.
Yeah, Crepeau. I know we joked about Schultz being possibly the guy in there, but there's no way in hell. But respect, that kid is got his team to MLS Cup Final. I mean, that's pretty badass. But Crepeau gonna be our guy, has been going big in massive games in the playoffs up to this point. Let's start right back from right to left. Hollingshed. Brian Hollingshed from LAFC. A little spoiler alert, man. A lot of my back line is LAFC. Like a lot of it.
It has to be. It has to be. There's no other way.
So
there's no way that you can have any other name in the back line when LAFC has not conceded a single goal this campaign in the playoffs. So I think just by off of that, credit to Columbus for making it this far. But we talked about it earlier. They're leaky. They concede goals. LAFC has not done that. So for me, I'm with you 100%. The back line is LAFC 100%.
Yeah.
Don't disagree.
I don't think anybody really can. I mean, plus, what makes this a little bit difficult for those at home is that like Columbus Crew runs 3-4-2-1 or whatever it is formation, and so like we're kind of picking interesting wing, comparing interesting wing backs to tried and true positional defensive players. So it is what it is. But I agree. Hollingshed, clear. Dude, he got the goal coming into the conference final or out of the conference final. Yeah, easily should be the right back. And so we're saying right now, just maybe to save time, the back line should easily be Hollingshed, Murillo, Chiellini, Palacios.
I would argue Farsi over Hollingshed.
Really?
I liked him throughout the playoffs. I think he's added a different dimension on that right-hand side for them. The thing is, I would personally play Hollingshed at left back over Palacios, but I know that's a really hot take.
What?
Yeah.
What is your argument for benching Palacios? I don't know. I gotta hear this. Go ahead.
You gotta hear this out.
I just rate Farsi a lot.
But based on what? Like his offensive ability,
I think he's just added that different dimension for this team on the right-hand side for Columbus. I think he's dude, he's so good with his feet. He causes the defense so much trouble when he goes up the field, and I think he's defensively solid.
I think Palacios, someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think Palacios is, one, as a U22 player, is the amount of contributions he has moving forward is insane. I think he's top 5 in playoffs, goal contributions or somewhere around there. Oh no, cutting passes that break through the lines and find the attacking players. His ability to connect with guys like Bowanga or anybody else that's floating around up top is kind of immense. And I just think he's a tried and true defender. My only problem with Farsi is that he plays like a converted midfielder. Like at times he's more of a wing back than a traditional defender. And I would take Hollingshed over him on the right because Hollingshed also can push up. But I wouldn't bench Palacios over anybody. I think he's been too crucial for LAFC. I would keep him over Hollingshed if I absolutely had to pick one.
We can go with this. I just would have liked to have Farsi in my.
Yeah, he's not bad. I mean, I just.
But again, it's a little bit tough too when you look at how Columbus play because he's, as you said, he's not a true right back. He is a right wing back.
Yeah, he's a right wing back. So like it's just like I said, Nancy makes this a little bit difficult because he just runs a non-traditional formation. But yeah, bro. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm gonna battle tooth and nail for Palacios all day. The guy's I wish he fucking played for Dallas. I mean, he's such a good player. And I think he probably produces more statistically than almost any other U22 player, especially from a left back position. It's crazy. Okay, so Hollingshed, Murillo, Chiellini, Palacios. Good. All right, backline easy, bro. Done. I'm in. I'm locked in. I think this is going to be the most difficult part is to pick our midfield line. I just think we're going to disagree probably the most on this. I have my own feelings about these midfielders. This is where I think the Columbus Crew are actually most talented, but LAFC has some ballers 100%. With the three mids, let's start with this. I'll go one at a time. How do we feel about Darlington Nagbe? I think Nagbe.
He's the lock.
He's the lock.
Okay.
Yep.
Easy.
Show some respect.
Yeah, we'll start off easy then. Nagbe
shouldn't even ask the question. Shouldn't even ask the question if you want to take time.
Hey, bro, Shayan's had some hot ass takes on this show. I gotta ask.
That's true. Time. You're right. You're right,
bro. Ilie Sanchez.
That was my pick.
That was my pick too. Xiaoyan did not pick Ilie. He had. You want out your pick, Xiaoyan? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'd rather have Aiden Morris over him.
Well, I mean, but on LAFC, didn't you have another player?
Yeah, I had Tillman.
So you think you would pick Tillman ahead of Ilie and Aiden Morris?
No, I would pick Aiden Morris. For me, if the shoe-ins for me is Nagbe, Morris, and then it's kind of up in the air for who you want to pick as that third midfielder from LAFC. Personally, for me, I would take Tillman based off of, you have Morris, you got Nagbe, and I'd take Tillman. I just don't think Sanchez would fit the bill, and same with Kellen Acosta. So I just picked Tillman. I think Tillman's added a different dimension to this team. I think when Tillman's on the field, I think LAFC as well statistically win more games.
Yeah.
It was something I was talking to Max Bredos about. He was very high on him. I think he's been the big difference maker on their playoff push near the end of the season. So I just went with Tillman.
He's been better in playoffs. I will say that. I think in the season there were times where I feel like he just like would I don't know, just drop a stinker every now and then. Like just didn't have some of the best performances. But LAFC was very up and down collectively this year. I don't know, bro. I feel like Ilie, he starts consistently week in and week out. I think he's the one staple in that LAFC midfield. He does sit a little bit deeper though, and that's something that if I was trying to build a team, I guess I see your point 100% around Tillman. Like he just offers you more going forward. But I think the three best individual midfielders are probably Sanchez, Nagbe, and Morris, right? Like those are probably the three best.
Sure.
So how do we decide this? Tillman versus
we could just Ilie. I mean, we could just, as long as we have Morris and Nagbe, I don't really care who's the third LAFC, like the midfielder as the third one from LAFC. I don't care.
For my third one, I kind of just went with form in the playoffs, just kind of roll that dice. And I went with Tillman. He's been doing the job. He has assists here, assists there. And if it wasn't for that little cheeky quote that he dropped before CCL, I feel like a lot more people would be choosing him.
What was his quote?
Bro, he said that stupid shit about Liga MX, bro. I can't believe he said that.
What did he say?
That Liga MX doesn't produce technical players. They're very passionate. Like it's less technical ability, more just straight passion for.
That's crazy. What's funny?
What's funny though? You know what's funny? He got dogged by a 19-year-old kid. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it was just crazy
midfield overran them. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I was like, why would you say this? Why would you give a team bulletin board material? Anyway, I mean, there's probably some of that hate going around still. I don't doubt it. I just still think Morris to me is like a true box to box.
Dude, Aiden Morris has been a revel. Dude, Aiden Morris should go to Europe after this season. He's been so freaking good.
Imagine had he played for Canada. Imagine.
That would have been good for them.
It would have been good for them. Bad for us. I like him a lot, but I still think.
I don't think he would play for. That's the problem. Is he doesn't play for the U.S. Nor would he get into that team.
I don't know, man. I think if he gets a chance in Europe and gets to really hit his prime, he has the building blocks, man. Like 100%. Like he just needs better
over Adams.
Dude's always injured. Like, what do you want me to do, bro?
I guess that's a good point, actually. You do got a point.
I like Musa a lot too. But it's just like, it doesn't hurt to have very solid depth coming out of the U.S. and not Canada. You know what I mean?
You guys have a lot of like not good midfielders, but just like
solid,
decent,
like decent.
Well,
like,
I mean, they all could be really good, but they're all super injury prone.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. Some of them made of glass, bro. It's just I don't understand. But
Morris
is not one of those dudes though.
No, it's those cheeseburger hamstrings, you know.
the American way.
The American.
So you had Tillman over Aiden Morris, is what you're saying.
Dude, maybe we put Tillman in. Fuck Ilie Sanchez. Let's put in Tillman.
Show some respect, bro. Bro, if there's any more Ilie Sanchez disrespect, I'm closing this window and I'm getting out of here, bro. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it.
To end the tiebreaker, I take Sanchez.
Okay, and there you go.
Yeah, and honestly, bro, I'm telling you, Tillman's really good moving forward. I think just holistically, Ilias, like he's like the heartbeat of that midfield for LA.
And that commercial, must not forget.
Oh, the smart decision. The smart decision is Ilie. You should listen to that commercial. All right, boys. So we got our midfield: Darlington Nagbe, Aiden Morris, Ilie Sanchez. 3 tried and true center mids. I like it. The front line. I have a hot take about this one. I have a hot take, and Shayan's not going to like it, but we'll get into it. I think you could probably mix up how you go with your right wing, your left wing, and your striker because all of these guys are very, very versatile. I think we can all easily agree Bowanga's in either right wing or left wing. Doesn't matter how you look at it. Cucho is in.
Yeah.
Striker, either wing. Doesn't really matter how you look at it. A lot of folks are saying Diego Rossi. MLS said Diego Rossi. I think probably everybody here said Diego Rossi. I actually would argue for Christian Ramirez over Diego Rossi. 100%. I think he's got more clutch factor. I think in this final, he's going to have a say in terms of how it goes. I think Diego Rossi is good. I think he's just too much. He's the better player, but he's not the one in form right now. That's the best way I could put it. And I don't know. It's great that he got that goal to send Columbus through into the MLS Cup Final, but or at least equalize and send them into extra time. But like I still don't feel as confident as I do watching. How many minutes does Ramirez have? 90 total?
Yeah,
maybe?
He doesn't even have probably a full 90 minutes.
I don't know. It might be that close, like somewhere around there. Maybe a full game. And this man just has ice in his veins. He just knows how to be in the moment, get the job done, and get the hell out of there, bro. Like it's funny because
not to discredit the goals because a goal's a goal, but very Tappan Merchant-esque.
Bro, you need the fox in the box. Every
it's
team
true.
needs
No, that's what I'm saying. Not
box.
to describe. I'm just like, when you look at the goals, they're not the greatest, of course.
I mean, hey, ask Manchester United fans about Chicharito, bro. I mean, it's just like one of those things where look at John. Yeah. It's just one of those things where like you want to have those guys, bro.
For a day. Not one single day are we not in the news. I thought today I was gonna get away with it.
There was no need to bring him up. No need to bring him up.
I like to vibe John every now and then.
Hey, you know what? Maybe FC Dallas needs a replacement for your boy Jesus over there. They need someone that can actually score goals. So
I'll take it. I'll take it 1,000%, bro. After he missed against the Sounders, that blatantly open one in Seattle, I said, "Fuck it, I'll take a striker tomorrow, bro." 2 actually, yeah, 2. And look, if Jesus, if you're out there, bro, I love what you've done for this club, but maybe Europe's calling, maybe South America's calling. I think
I ain't no one calling, bro. Ain't no one.
Stop. Homie said ain't no one calling.
Except the U.S. men's national team when they're playing against those Caribbean islands.
Yeah. Call me when
Neves and Zay kids dropping 5 goals. Right?
Yeah. Come on, a double-digit scorer, bro. All right. Until then, Jesus Ferreira's been doing that. But either way, I still think that he's ready for the next step, and I'm ready for FC Dallas to move into our prime without Ferreira. I mean, I don't think we ever had a star that we built a team around, and we play better that way. We just play better when we function as a team, bro. So anyway, back to this: Christian Ramirez or Diego Rossi. I think if you pick Rossi, he's probably starting on the wing. In my 3, it's Bowanga, Cucho, Ramirez.
I'm going with what Jose said.
Ooh, changes his lineup. I like that. Why did you have Rossi to begin with, though?
I do like it's because originally how I would have had mine was Bowanga, Rossi, and Cucho as my striker. That's how I originally had it. And again, it's interchangeable between Rossi and Bowanga, but part of me was thinking the same thing too. And I think when I was talking to Hernan about it as well, I said you could put in Christian Ramirez as the striker and then throw out Rossi and then throw Cucho on the wing. I don't really think that's a bad shout either. And I kind of like the idea. So I said, fuck it. I think they're both good. It doesn't make a massive difference, but just for like spiciness, let's add Christian Ramirez because he has had the 2 winning goals. That is a reality.
Clutch, man. He's clutch, bro. He's got more clutch factor.
And he's like such a big Cinderella, and he's such a big Cinderella story too. I mean, the guy was playing USL with Minnesota, then came up with them in their expansion season because Minnesota didn't have any DPs their first year. They were so shit, but then he like stuck around with them.
Wasn't he at Houston?
And then he was at LAFC as well as an former LAFC player. So there's 2 homecomings.
Around a little bit, yeah. He's had his runs with various clubs, and yeah, I mean this whole homecoming with between Diego Rossi especially and LAFC. I think for that reason, most people are just going to be like expecting big things from Rossi, and I think most people just rate him higher anyway. But if I'm picking like a striker for this lineup, I'm picking Christian Ramirez. Like I just think that. Bro, imagine that Fox in the box mentality with the wingers like Cucho and Bouanga out wide.
Well, the thing is, he won't start, is what I'm thinking too. I don't think he's going to start the game.
No, he won't. He won't. That's what I'm saying. This is probably a hot take, right? In all seriousness, like I think he's the more informed attacker at this moment. But if you had to put someone out there in the MLS Cup Final, I don't think you could leave Rossi off the team sheet. I don't think you really could. So we have to lean one way or the other, though, for the sake of this episode. Hernan, you've been quiet, bro. You picked Rossi as well, right? Mm-hmm. So now that I've made my case for Ramirez, I don't know, bro. Change your mind? Does it sit with you, or you stuck on Rossi?
I mean, I like both. Don't get me wrong. Rossi is a guy that, of course, the MLS chose because of everything going into this game. The MLS knows what they're doing. But then it just like how my pick with Tillman went. I mean, if I'm basing it off of form, if I'm basing it off of who's hot, who's not. I mean, you can make an argument for both players that they both come into this game with a good mindset, with a good bit of form, right? But I think both of these players could make it. It depends on who it is. It's kind of like whenever a ref calls a foul and you say, well, depending on this ref, he might call it, he might not. Both players are good. I think it just depends on whoever's going to set up that lineup. I mean, you have 2 really good players that you have to choose from. Oh no, oh no, so
yeah, bro. I feel you on that.
It is what it is.
Yeah. We need a tiebreaker here to them, boys. It's me and Xiaoyan. So now it comes down to Hernan and John. You guys pick Christian Ramirez in that front 3 or Diego Rossi in that front 3.
Unless they would put none of them and they put what's the other guy's name? It starts with an M on Columbus. Or I forget what his name is.
Nah, you know what? To be controversial here, neither of them. Vela's coming back, dropping a hat trick.
Oh my god, bro! You're doing this.
That's the other one. Vela could score a screamer.
Don't sign off on that, Hernan.
Listen. I'm not even getting this is just me like just talking. But no, I'm just like argumentative. Say like this just to argue. Do you think he would provide something in that front 3? Like, do you think he could? You think I feel like he could. I feel like if he's motivated enough, he could. That's the thing with him. That's the thing with him. Like,
I feel like we add that if part too often to Vela. Like we add if this happens, he's gonna ball out, and then that thing doesn't happen, and then we're like, well, shit, that's why he didn't ball out.
That's a very interesting shout. Although maybe this deserves a bit of mention. I think that LAFC side just feels way more confident when they know that Vela is on the field with them. Does that make sense? Does that maybe deserve a little bit of credit?
He's also another providing distractor for Bouanga. It helps them. Like it's just. I'm just stating,
the fact we're even talking about this does make me a little disappointed because I don't think Vela comes anywhere near this. I would argue that player on Columbus deserves it more than
You're talking
Vela.
About Matan?
Yeah, Matan.
Matan's only done much. I mean,
I know, but he's done as much as Vela. He's done more than Vela has. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you know what the difference is? Vela's got a trophy.
I agree that
Matan's about to get another one.
Vela shouldn't really be getting any shots right now, but you just have to respect the man. You have to respect what he means to his team, what he's been doing leading up to this tournament.
You got to respect the goals that he scored for that club. Like
Yeah, I respect the
100%.
goals he scored in
What he
2019,
means.
but that's it.
You have to respect what he means for this LAFC side. And also, everybody's talking about Rossi. Rossi's could be shaking in his boots when he meets his former side, black and gold, 3-2-5-2.
Or
Just
more importantly,
saying.
just has to deal with getting around guys like Chiellini or
Man,
Murillo's a
Chiellini,
beast in the back too.
Chiellini's the
okay.
X factor for me.
Yeah,
Chiellini,
100%.
okay, but we got to give Chiellini props for the age that he is to be playing that well.
Yes,
Come on,
masterclass
Yeah.
defending. I mean,
And I want to say this on Chiellini. There was a time where Sergio Ramos was being shopped around, and a lot of fans just wrote him off, discredit him, saying, "Oh, he won't make it in MLS. He's too old for MLS." Meanwhile, you have a Chiellini that's bossing it when he gets called up to LAFC because I don't know if people realize this or not, but as a center back, you don't really have to be that young to boss it in MLS. Chiellini is doing it just fine. If you're world class, you're a center back in MLS, you might have a really good chance. That's why I was fighting for my life, trying to make a case for Sergio Ramos. At the end of the day, he went to Sevilla. But the thing is, though, when you have a guy like Chiellini at his age, just like John said, I mean, you have to give credit to what he's doing. And I think other guys can do it. They just got to take that chance. Maybe Ramos didn't want to take that chance, didn't want to take that leap, but I want to credit Chiellini not only on his play, but on his mindset to say, you know what, I'm going to go to MLS and I'm going to still be great. And we're still talking about him being good.
Yeah. I actually think you get better, in my opinion, from when you think about certain really center backs and keepers. I think you get better as you age. I think it's because your understanding of the game is
I was just about to say
significantly
that,
different.
like the way that you can read the game at that age, you just know a lot more. And I think it provides also like a lot of stability in your back line too, having someone that can organize your defense like that. So
yeah, because unless your defense is trash, which in that case, right, you are running a lot and you have to be athletic, right? But if you're building a championship caliber back line and team, your back line is probably going to have a couple aged or seasoned veterans, right, that have been there and done that, but it's because they obviously read the game at a level that others don't.
At center back, bro, this is one of the last things I'm going to say. In this league at center back, if you can at least read the game, if you know when danger is gonna come your way on defense, you're gonna be good. If you start reacting, if you start chasing the game, then it's gonna eat you. But if you're able to read plays, if you're able to cut stuff off and shut it down, you don't even gotta slide tackle anybody. Nesta and who was that other great defender, Maldini. They said all the time, you don't got to be the fastest guy. You just got to be able to beat them to their position.
Nesta actually played in MLS, if we don't forget.
Yeah, we don't forget that. Yeah. Maldini, with that said, was a slide god. That guy was, I mean, he could slide tackle better than, the only person I've seen better is probably Ramos, like Sergio Ramos. But guy is an absolute slide god. But yeah, bro, I agree wholeheartely with you. Chiellini is world class, playing in Major League Soccer and showing what every other center back how to play that position. And he's the rock. I think he, like Xiaoyan said, the X factor. And that's interesting. We should transition right now, I think, into the conference final. I think we have our front three in. I'll just decide because John threw out Vela, so I think it breaks the tie.
I was just providing something else to argue about.
I think we're gonna go with Bouanga, Ramirez, and
I'll take it. I can't disagree with that.
I think it's solid. But I think that the X Factor conversation is really interesting. I think Chiellini is that guy for LAFC, despite everyone leaning towards Bouanga. But I think that it's a harder question to answer for Columbus.
No, it's easy. Darlington Nagbe.
He is the only. He is the X factor for that.
He is the X factor. I'm telling you, LAFC's is Chiellini, Darlington Nagbe's Columbus. Darlington Nagbe has been there and done that for two teams.
But it's just, yes, he's this is his fourth MLS Cup final.
I
think it's fourth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has already won 3, and he's on track for his 4th. But either way, I mean, with how much he's been there, that's great. But I'm saying on the field, what does he do that makes him the X factor?
Okay, I thought someone was going to respond, but okay.
Well, no, this was your.
I just like Darlington Nagbe is like, he just makes that going from defense to offense so much easier, and he just knows how to progress the ball forward, get it into the right feet of those various attackers Columbus has. And dude, the guy is, even when he was at Portland, I always respected Nagbe. I always did. I liked him so much, and I hate that he played for the Timbers because I think he's so good. I love the guy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say this. Down here in Austin, Darlington Nagbe is talked about quite a few, and in credit to him for who he is as a player. But we like to compare one of our best players, one of our best dribblers, one of our best chance creators, the guy that loves to break lines for us, Danny Pereira. He's always being compared to Darlington Nagbe. And just by, let's say I didn't know anything about Darlington Nagbe, I knew everything about Danny. Just by everybody around me that knows MLS compares this young talent to this guy, Darlington Nagbe, that tells me everything that I need to know. The guy is a baller. Darlington Nagbe deserves to be in this final. Like Shayan said, he's done it for more than one team. Lock, 100%. Is he an X factor? I mean, I don't know, because he's going to be a factor. So I don't know if he's the X. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely going to weigh on the game. So
I think he might be in my parlay. So I'll see.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that too, right? Like, I agree that he is a great, when you think about this league historically, he will go down in history as one of the greatest players to ever play in this league.
Oh, 100%.
And a true representation of how you played the six. With that said,
you're gonna pick the child, huh? That's who your X factor is gonna be, Jose.
No, yeah, pick the kid. I mean, bro, if there's pressure on anybody, it's that guy. But
I got a hot take for the X factor, if I may. The X factor for Columbus is going to be the stadium, because LAFC is going to travel. Kalen Acosta said that they have no away games, that their fans travel well, that they're their 12th man, and that they always feel their presence no matter where they go.
But how many tickets did Columbus allocate to them, though? I don't feel like it could have been a lot.
I don't think you can have a say in the final. I think you can, but it's like the limit's raised because it's a cup final. I'm pretty sure.
I think stadium atmosphere for Columbus is going to be their X factor. They have to take control of that.
Because when I think about when Portland went there was a good amount of Portland fans, and they're, I think, similar in regards to the fan base with LAFC, but it really wasn't like a lot. Like, I don't think they allocated that many tickets to them. I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the same case.
It's probably gonna be like a couple thousand, I would assume. Like a couple thousand.
I think that's a fair shot.
Yeah, if it was like 300 to 500 for the conference finals, I think you bump it up 3-4x and you call it that. But it's still going to be a massive crowd for Columbus, and so either way, though, I think X factor for me, it's not the kid. I almost wanted to say Aiden Morris, but I do think it is this hovering storyline around Diego Rossi. I think he's kind of supposed to be the continuation, right, of the 10 that just left them in the last transfer window, and it wasn't meant to be that, but it got you excited because it happened immediately afterward. And then he got here. He's got 5 goals and 6 assists since he's landed in MLS. And it's not that it doesn't stand out in a big way, right? It's kind of underwhelming. And I think that there's going to be that chip on his shoulder now with him, almost like a homecoming, right? Going back to LAFC, the stadium or the town that he used to play in front of, and the fans he used to play in front of. And in terms of like them who's going to be traveling, the most fervent ones, right?
I'm curious if the fans will boo him or not. I'm curious about that.
I don't know, but they're going to be there. Like Ednan said, they're going to be loud and proud. They won't be quiet. They're going to have a presence there 100%. And they might try to get into his head. I think he's going to be the player to watch one way or the other. Does he get into his own head, or can he put that aside, compartmentalize, and actually perform in a way that is elevated from what we've seen so far to the season, which has been kind of lackluster?
The question was if LAFC fans are going to whistle Rossi.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Bro, the LAFC fans whistled Chicho when he joined RSL. They are ruthless. They don't care.
That's kind of messed up, by the way. I will say that, bro. I
was gonna say they kicked him. They kicked him out, and then
once you leave LAFC to them, from what I've seen online, social media, I have some buds that support LA.
That's a little crazy to me.
Once you leave there, there you are nobody to them, bro.
The bridge is burned, bro.
I don't know how to feel about that mindset, but I don't know, man. They've had some really good players come in. And also on the Chicho thing, he did join a really close conference rival. I mean, you join RSL. What do you expect?
Oh no,
it's not peaches and cream, bro. It's not peaches and cream.
He didn't go to the Galaxy. He went to Real Salt Lake. He didn't go to like. It's like he went across town to.
He didn't go to San Jose Earthquakes.
Right, bro.
It might have been a little bit worse had he gone to the Galaxy. You know, like
bro. I mean, 100%. It would have been.
And like they kicked him out. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the worst part. They
should have expected it. You should have expected going to a Western Conference rival.
Crazy season with them.
No, I don't know if you expect it, bro. To me, I would have found a way to keep him, or try your hardest to keep him. Like I don't know. I think they let him go to Real Salt Lake. For being honest.
Well, he went to Mexico, then went to
Pachuca.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm
went to
saying is that
RSL.
by extension of that, right? They let him go, and with open the door, knowing that he could come back to MLS, which he wouldn't be the first player to bounce from US to Mexico and back. I don't know, bro. I just think they didn't value him as much as they. And he's produced a lot for that club.
Dude,
Produced a
he's
lot for that
done
club.
super well since he's come back, though. Too. It's
He
unfortunate
has.
his team sucks.
And he showed respect whenever he played LAFC, bro.
I know that's the
That's
worst
the crazy
part.
part. That's the crazy part. Like he's out there, like, hey, I'm not gonna disrespect the club, and I don't know.
But then the
I mean,
fan,
that's what you kind of have to do as a
Yes,
player.
you don't
That's
get
what you kind of have
spooked
to
on by the
do.
fans, bro. That's crazy.
I don't know. I see it differently. I see it.
Yeah, no, it's bro. Again, with fans, I totally understand. I'm not judging fans. I mean, I know our good friend Xiao Yan from Brave Green TV might have a little something to say about LAFC fans, but I personally think game is game. Like, you be as passionate as you want to be. If you want to talk your shit, talk your shit. Like, to me, it all makes the league grow.
Can I share this just super quick, 20 seconds?
Yeah.
Something similar happened with Austin FC. Diego Fagundes, he got traded. He got sent over to the Galaxy, and they had to come back to Austin later on that year, like in September 24th, if I'm not mistaken, is when the Galaxy came to Austin. And there was a big question in the fan base, like, hey, what are we gonna do if Diego Fagundes scores? I was like, bro, I'm not gonna celebrate if Diego Fagundes scores.
I'm not saying no.
You know what I'm saying? But
I've never heard of this shit.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't
not celebrate, but you're also not going to throw your
attack.
fucking beer at him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course,
that's what I'm saying. It's like there's a line.
But genuinely, there was fans that were saying at Q2 Stadium, if Diego Fagundes were to score against Austin, that they would celebrate.
That's a question, bro. If
Obafemi Martins, what kind of a fan base is
came from the retirement?
But hold on, Diego meant a lot to us. Diego meant a lot to us.
Bro, they had like a full blown send off. Like when he got traded,
people cried, bro. People genuinely cried. Real tears. Real tears.
Real tears, bro. Of like the send off.
Real tears. It's not funny. It's not funny. People
Diego
cried.
Fagundes?
It was legit. Like it was a
bro.
Hold
on. Okay, context. Fagundes meant so much to the city.
Fagundes has the club badge tatted on him.
He's the only player to have a specific chant at Q2 Stadium. He's the only one.
I don't know about all that, but yeah, no, I mean
that's how much he meant. That's how much he meant is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and it hurt. And it hurt.
I mean, it sucks, but like, fucking.
I still wouldn't cheer for him though.
Yeah. Constantly celebrating if he scores and stuff. Like, that's crazy to me. Yeah. That's crazy.
It was a big talking point at the time, bro.
That's
it was a big
absurd. That's what I'm saying. Like, Obafemi Martins comes from the fucking retirement grave, plays for the Portland Timbers. Like, bro, I'm not gonna celebrate if he scores, regardless of who he plays for.
Bit more
but you're not gonna poop on him either, right?
Well, I'm gonna hug him and kiss him. Nor was I gonna cry that he went to Shanghai Shenhua. Like, come on, man.
One more piece of context. But some of the fans that were saying that they would celebrate if Fagundes scored, they were gonna celebrate as a dig to Josh Wolf because they felt a certain way that Josh Wolf was part of the decision that sent Fagundes away to the Galaxy. So if Fagundes scored, it was like Fagundes 1, Josh Wolf 0. So that had to do with it also. Anti-Wolf came into play.
Bro, the storylines that come out of the Austin FC fan base are amazing to me, bro. I love it, bro. I love it. I'm not even hating. I tune into y'all's space for therapy every week, bro. Every week. Like y'all's Twitter spaces, bro. If you haven't seen during the regular season, the We Are Austin TV Twitter spaces are popping. They are absolutely
they've gotten out of hand. They've gotten out of hand to say
but they're epic. But they are epic. That's the beauty
epic.
of them. That's the beauty of them. We'll get Cheyenne back here in a second. But yeah, bro. I mean, like I said, it's the fans and what it means to them. I actually think that this is what Major League Soccer needs, bro. In any other part of the world, you get this. You get this level of attachment.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Y'all got fans like that. We got no fans. I don't know who out here supporting the Fire. I don't know who's out here. I don't know who's out here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, true, but maybe it starts with like who you guys are hiring, you know, who's leading the way.
With the sporting director, you know. We love hanging around people that don't know how to do their jobs, you know.
But if you sign Lewandowski, I think the world changes in Chicago.
Listen,
if that community happens, stands up, bro.
Listen, if that happens, I think people start to get really scared about our team. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot of A lot of people underestimating everyone else. I think we're just missing a 9. That's what we're missing.
Yeah,
yes, me.
And
maybe another center back, or two.
Yeah, you know. Boys. Yeah, I mean, look, bro. I mean, off season, we're about to be in it full swing, and we'll have a lot to talk about. I mean, look, bro, I'm actually really excited for y'all's fan bases because I know Dallas won't do a ton in the market. We never really do.
We're not doing.
Didn't you already make a move, bro?
Yeah, for like the Romanian wonder kid. Yeah, bro.
Yes.
I'm locked in on him. But again, it's more of those signings, which I think are great, right? But it's not, like Austin FC might legitimately go out and get like some potentially some big name players in a smarter way.
That's what the conversation is down here. But it's because we just got rid of a U22 player, and the MLS roster rules, they let you go after that third full DP if you have a certain amount of U22 initiative players. But we have Ring, and he's still occupying that DP roster spot, and we're gonna have to buy him down and all this stuff. So Austin can make moves, like you said, in an intelligent way, but we have to be very calculated with what we do because unfortunately we made some bonehead moves.
Everyone's got to be calculated, but Inter Miami can go ahead. You can go sign everyone. Don't worry about it.
Watch, the Griezmann signing will probably be announced in the next like 30 to 60 days, bro. I almost guarantee it.
Disgusting scenes.
Because now everyone's asking who their fourth DP is going to be. If Suarez isn't going to be that guy, and I'm like, watch, it's going to be Griezmann.
Well, this is my legitimate question.
Or where are they getting? One of the two.
Where are they getting this TAM? Where are they? Didn't they not get fined like 1.5-2 million TAM?
They just did a trade to get some TAM back, I believe. But I think I'm telling you, bro, the league I'm telling you, it's like a little slide under the door. Like, hey, the rules bend a little bit, but they don't break.
TAM is very interesting because it's not the same as GAM, and TAM can't be traded. GAM can be traded. So TAM, you only get a certain amount, and that's it because it's so important. That's what you use to buy players down. That's how you get those guys like Bale, Suarez, etc. Right? So that's a good question. Where is this TAM coming from?
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, no one's accounting. No one's accounting for it. I'm telling you, man. Like, it's not a far-fetched thing now or a conspiracy theory to say that like, the league is just helping.
You know when they had the whole thing with the 4 DPs and they got fined like
with Matuidi, yep.
Where's that? Like, why is where all of a sudden they're getting all this TAM from? That's my question.
It's plain and simple. I mean, Matuidi's not messy.
I don't know if you guys kept up with Breaking Bad or El Camino or something like that, but I feel like Jesse was like, he can't keep getting away with
this. He can't keep getting
away with this, bro.
Bro, 100%. I'm telling you, right? It's either going to be Griezmann or Sergio Roberto, and they're going to find another way to still open up opportunities to make that team stronger outside of that Barcelona 2015 roster they're putting together. So
but if they have the ability to do this, what's stopping every other MLS roster out there to do this? Because it's not like these guys. It's not like these guys don't have money. The Fire have money. We have money. I don't know. Wow. I don't know who's spending it. I don't know what we're doing with it. We got money.
If you guys start putting asses in seats the way that Inter Miami is right now, then you got to
think about it. We just got 30 mil off 2 transfers. It's not like we don't have money. We have money. I don't know what's going on. I
don't know, bro. Again, this off season is going to be fire. I honestly can't wait for no pun intended. I can't wait for the storylines to really start rolling in. But with that said, boys, let's do predictions and then we'll get out of here. I think as far as the episode goes, Xiaoyan's laptop froze, by the way, so it is what it is.
Cap.
Here's what I think, bro. Here's what I think. I think Xiaoyan didn't want to give his predictions so that on the show he remains perfect.
I think that's
that was what I told myself when this happened. I was like, right before the prediction.
Interesting, right?
Go ahead and pop out. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, boys. Well, we'll assume that Xiaoyan is picking the crew. We just won't know what his exact score line is because, frankly, he's just been, glazing them the whole episode. So that is going to be his pick. Ernan, you go first, then we'll go to John.
I got the black and gold, man. I got LAFC doing the back-to-back. I'm sorry.
Back-to-back hasn't happened, by the way, in
12 years.
12 years. So
12 years.
It's the Galaxy, right?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken. When the league was completely different, the Galaxy could compete and win back-to-back tournaments.
Exactly. And back then, Galaxy were the LA team, cream of the crop, and now LAFC and their Xiaoyan back in time just for this part. LAFC are now that
team. I got LA, and I'm gonna go with a clean sheet in the final.
Clean
LA
sheet in the
wins it.
final.
LA wins it again 2-0. 2-0
Woo!
LAFC.
Man, I like that take.
2-0
That's a
LAFC.
fucking spicy take. I like that. All right, Xiaoyan, you arrived just in time to shit on that take. What is your prediction?
What was your guys' predictions? I missed
We haven't
that.
gone yet. I was literally the first
gone
person.
yet.
Well, since we can't confirm Hernan is an LAFC fan.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
all
bro,
right.
the glazing is kind of insane, though. I can't even lie.
It's called respect. It's called respect, bro. Okay, it's something you need to learn
Respect, man.
to do to the LAFC team. You need to respect
He
this
was
side.
he
bro.
was hating on Crapo last game too.
Yeah, hold on.
He
But why is Hernan
He
glazing
was.
LAFC, but you're just a fan of Columbus, or what is that? I don't understand, bro. Like you've been going hard for the Crew.
I haven't been going, dude. I've just been right. There's something about it. I've just been right.
So what's your pick?
Itself.
So what's your pick? What's your pick,
Okay,
mate?
I'm obviously gonna continue with my bracket, and I'm gonna pick Columbus.
Scoreline.
Scoreline. I am gonna go with 3-1 Columbus.
Wow, the
Ooh.
exact opposite of Hernan's. Holy shit. Okay. That would 3-1 is a ballsy fucking pick. Also, 2-0 kind of is too. Like I don't know, a clean sheet's interesting. All right, John. What's your pick, bro?
I'm gonna go 2-0 LAFC.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Let's go.
My
Go
God.
2-0.
This is not how I thought the episode's gonna go at all, bro.
Listen.
This is not how I had this shit going.
Listen, I feel like the Bouanga train is gonna go heavy in this final.
No.
I feel like it's gonna go heavy in this final. They're gonna score their 2. They're gonna defend themselves well. They're gonna see.
What? Vella's gonna get both of them?
No. I said Bouanga. I said Bouanga.
I know. I was just trolling.
Yeah. He could get 1 though, so it could be 3. No, I'm kidding. No. No, I'm kidding. I think it'll end up being 2-0 LAFC with them seeing it out towards the end. But I also can't really be saying Columbus, so I'm a Fire fan. So there's also that. So
there you go. There's the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go with, bro, this is tough. This is really tough. It's going to end in a PK shootout. It's going to be just like last year. We're going to get back-to-back MLS Cup PK shootouts.
No, actually, that'll be 3 years in a row.
3. All right, sorry. Yeah, you're right. 3 in a row. And I think it's going to be 2-2 going into that PK shootout. I don't think it's a clean sheet. I think both teams concede.
2-2 would be nutty.
2-2 would be wild. I don't think Columbus scores in straightforward ways, though. I don't think it's going to be like what we've seen. I think it's going to be some shithousery on set pieces or whatever. It's the final, bro. Anything could happen. I think 2-2, and it goes to Columbus just because they're home. I think that in a PK shootout, I got to favor the home team. But I will say this, bro. LAFC is going to make this shit a game. And if they win it, they're not going to surprise me. Like, I honestly, this is the hardest matchup to pick by far. Even if Cincy had made it, it would have been equally difficult. I don't know.
I'm changing my prediction.
Okay.
I'm going 2-1 Columbus.
2-1 Columbus. Why the dial back in goals? Do you not trust them anymore?
No, I do. It's just I'm thinking about like LAFC and their defense. I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to concede 3.
Bro, homie just saw the light in like 30 seconds. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know. He literally just like completely reversed his shit. And which I'm glad you did, because I think you are right. It's going to be hard to score more than 1. I think
it's because of what you said. I agree. That's why I did see the light when you were talking.
Yeah, there you go, bro. I appreciate that. I think 2 goals. It could be 1-1, but I just think 2-2 because it's a final. I think it's just going to be like some crazy epic 2-2 into a PKs. So
2-1 Columbus. I could see it being like Vela gets a goal.
now he's the one saying.
No, you're trolling now.
Hey, let me cook.
Okay,
I see LAFC scoring first. I see it like being like a Vela type of player. It's not going to be Bouanga, I can tell you for a fact. And then it's going to be Diego Rossi to get the equalizer. And then it's going to be some shit like Aiden Morris to get the win. Like Aiden Morris, Darling.
Bro, that was
Kanagvi.
3 massively hot takes all in one. Like, I'm not even
know.
lying, bro. 3
Trying to
massively
bundle it up.
Sorry.
one.
Okay, I'm going to change it again. It's not going to be Diego Rossi scored the first one. It's going to be fucking Matan, bro.
No, bro, stop. Matan's not gonna fucking score, bro. It's gonna be if it's gonna be anyway, it's gonna be the likely suspect.
Nah,
right?
dude, I think it's Matan, man. I think it'll be an early goal from LAFC. Then they clap back within the 20 minutes, and then it'll be like a midfielder Darlington Nagbe gets the winner, secures it for his team, call it a day.
This show's gone off the rails. Like, I think we're firmly off the rails, bro. We're in dreamland. All right, boys. I think we all feel really good about our picks. And again, just like the conference final episode, we're split. Ednan and John have LAFC going. Me and Xiaoyan. Maybe this will mean I win one. I don't really know. We're siding with Columbus. I don't know, man. This is gonna be the fucking game right here. I think the Hell is Real Derby was epic. I don't know if this is going to match that level, right? Because it was a comeback win to go to the final, but man, I mean, I think it has to because it's the ultimate prize, right? It's the MLS Cup. So we'll see how it all goes down. Those are our picks. That is our best 11. If you tuned into this far into the episode, thank you so much. If you disagree with any of our picks, right, whether it's predictions or the combined best 11, let us know down below. I had people arguing with me on my picks last weekend. A couple of them citing that Diego Rossi was going to turn up at some point. I want to see that turn up, in all honesty, bro. Like, if there's one storyline that anybody should be watching, it should be that. If there's anything else you feel like we should be watching, let us know in the comments down below. If you think Shion's going to go 100% in his MLS bracket, let us know down below. If there are 0 comments on that, we all kind of know what that means. All right? For everybody here at Wake Up MLS, my name's Jose. That's John. That's Xiaoyan. That's Ednan. We'll catch you guys next time.